Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Adobe Live. I'm Anna Davis-Court. I'm going to be your host for the next 2 weeks. We're going to be doing some daily creative challenges together. I am so excited to see everybody in the chat already. I was just talking to Paco. I was like, there are people already in the chat. It's 9 in the morning here, you guys. You're so early. But let me know, what time is it where you are? Because I'm sure everybody's from all around the world, and I absolutely love seeing you guys. Already talking to Sean in the chat. He says you lived in Portland, right? Or Portland. I can't remember. But yeah, that is awesome. I'm from Portland, Oregon. If you guys don't know me, I've been on a few Adobe Lives now, but also I was an Adobe Creative resident last year. So if you guys have any residency questions, that is an amazing program, and also it's open for submissions right now, just by the way. Hi, everybody. Oh, everybody's so nice saying hello. Hello, Patty and Valadair. Is that your name? Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. It's 6 p.m. here, says Michelle. Hello, everyone. Hello. 2 p.m. in Brazil. See, that's a good time to watch this, where it's just like 2 p.m., pretty chill. Oh my gosh, you guys. 7 p.m. in Riga, Latvia. I'm sure I'm going to say everything wrong, just by the way. Good morning, 9 a.m. here too. You're feeling it. For anybody who works from home, you might know a little bit of my pain. I usually wake up at like 9 or 10 if I get to choose. But I've got chai and I've got you guys, so I'm all amped up and ready to go. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be walking through a set of challenges because I want to challenge you guys and see what you can make. I'm super excited to see what you guys come up with for this. The theme that we're going to be going for is winter themed cards, basically. Like, I want to make it kind of holiday, but it's definitely not just holiday. It's anything wintry themed. So if you've ever thought of making cards for your family or, loved ones, you want to send something to anyone, basically show off like, I designed this for you. We're going to make that this week. And I hope that you guys actually join in for this. It's going to be super fun. If you've never touched Photoshop, then this is going to be a wonderful challenge for you, super beginner friendly. And if you are an expert, then there are plenty of, there's a lot of room to grow and just show your creativity. So yes, this is the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. If you want to sign up for it, this is on behance.net/live. That's where you are right now. There's a link below the video you're watching that gets you to this Daily Creative Challenge page. And all you have to do is click, yes, I want to take the challenge. Thanks for joining the Creative Challenge. Yay. It'll give you a little opportunity to sign up for the Creative Cloud if you don't have that already. I definitely do. And it'll take you to the Photoshop thing and then also the Discord, which is a wonderful opportunity to talk to everybody around you about what we're doing for the 2 weeks, and also just like catch up on what other people are creating, give feedback, get feedback, all that wonderful stuff. So we've got a few tabs here in the Discord. There's, of course, general, like it'll tell you anything that we're going through and talking about. The creative challenge in particular, we got a post from Sam today talking about this challenge in particular. And we've got, welcome, we've got feedback. You can get feedback on your work. You can give others feedback on the current challenge. We've got some beautiful work in here already. You can see some of the previous challenges that other people have done. Lots of Photoshop, and there's of course, obviously, this is the Photoshop one, but there's just so many ways of using Photoshop. In particular, I'm a children's book illustrator, so I use a lot of illustration techniques, but I love using photos as well. So we've got a lot of options. I've given you guys some starter files this week that have images, or you can use your own illustrations if you want to draw. All right, and we've got, so many different tabs in here that you can use. There's also the advice tab. There you can ask a question or get some tips and tricks. There are mentors on the Discord who will tell you all about how to improve your work, what they feel could be made better about this. And you can find the Discord at a link that we've got. This is the link for it. Yeah, look at that. The Photoshop Discord, aka the PS Discord. Discord. Sam Peterson, thank you so much. One of our mods is putting the link in the chat for you. So if you want to sign up, please do. I would love to talk to you all and give you all the feedback and everything. Oh my gosh, this is us. I can see the chat. All right. So what I want to talk about is Photoshop a little bit, what we use it for, what we want for you guys to know before jumping into the challenge. So a lot of today is just chatting, getting to know you, hi, and also just giving you a basic lay of the land. If you've never seen Photoshop before, I don't want you to be intimidated. I want you to feel like, okay, this is something I could totally dive into. And just a show of hands in the chat, I would love to know who's used Photoshop before and who hasn't. One of the coolest things about these daily creative challenges to me is that you can learn something that I spent thousands of dollars to learn. I went to art school, and it takes a lot of money to like learn this stuff, the basics of Photoshop. And now there's this asset for you guys online to come and tune in every day and learn something new about how to use this. It's a highly complex program, but it can be very simple to use. Hey, Michelle, how are ya? Eric says, what is Photoshop? Oh my goodness. Okay, Photoshop is an amazing program. It is a complete program that gives you the access to manipulating photos, to change anything that you want about them, or to illustrate your own paintings. You can make something from scratch. You can use things and manipulate them. It's basically the industry standard for using photos and illustration for a lot of different careers. So I'm a children's book illustrator. It's my bread and butter. I use it every day. I've also come to love the mobile products that we have. So there's Photoshop for the iPad as well as Fresco. If you guys haven't used either of those, I would highly recommend. If you don't have an iPad, borrow one. Just try it out and see if it's your thing. I always say that it takes 2 weeks at least for me to get used to a new work setup. So you kind of just have to give it that time and see if you really like it, or if after 2 weeks you're still not jiving, then it's not your thing. That's totally fine. Hi, everybody in the chat. I did see your Behance, or didn't see your Behance yet. It will be an exhibit. Oh, cool. There's an art center that in the chat, if anybody's reading that. Daily challenges are definitely a good opportunity to learn. I agree, Vesma. That's definitely a wonderful thing that Adobe is giving you guys. Andre says, good morning and conversation. Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. It's been a wonderful morning so far. Let's just keep continuing. So let's open up the desktop version of Photoshop. You'll see a lot of sneak peeks of what I've got in store for you guys for the challenges, but also this is just the home page. I'm logged in on my Creative Cloud account, so you can see my cloud documents here. This is the straight up home page. It says, welcome to Photoshop. How nice. And you can access your cloud documents from anywhere that you're logged into CC. So that means that it's literally in the cloud. You can just access it whenever you need it. And when you open this up, it gives you some options. So this is super streamlined. If you guys ever saw Photoshop before Creative Cloud was a thing, it was a very different look, and now it's very clean. It's like dark mode too, so it's nice on the eyes. And on the left, you'll see just two very clear options: create new or open. So open is for obviously any files that are already in existence, but create new is for that new baby that you're just waiting to create. So along the top here, you'll see some options for what kind of file you want to create. There are some great templates that are here for photos. They're just some basic layouts. You'll see underneath each of the little names the dimensions of what these files could be. There are some already made for print. So if you're thinking, oh, I want to make this postcard for a print service, I want to order it online, something like that, then we have some options here. This particular challenge, I've worked through Moo a lot. If you guys know Moo, it's a printing company, and I print postcards through them quite often. And usually the standard sizes are either 4x6 or 5x7, and those are the same ratio. So I just make all my files 5x7 or bigger. And then if it's, you want to order 4x6, you just size it on down, and, always work in high resolution until you have to save out a smaller one. That's what I would always recommend. Good morning, Sam says to Andre. I'm fine. Been very busy, says Michelle. Oh, I'm glad. Busy can be good and bad, Just depends on what you need in your life. Kendall! Hi, Kendall! Oh, we're friends. Unless you and me, unless you me, and refuse to have a dark mode. Oh, Somebody who doesn't like dark mode. I've never met that. Always changing that UI color. Oh, yeah. Oh, Valdair says, yay, I won a Moo notebook on Chat and Win last year. Yay, we love Chat and Win. And yeah, the Moo notebooks are super cool. I'm very tempted to make some custom ones because I love notebooks, and the idea that I could just design something and put it on there, like, I'm in. Kendall says, hola. Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? That's all I know of Spanish. All right, so let's open up a document here. I'm just gonna make a random size. Let's do letter size, because that's exactly the size of a normal sheet of paper. And you can change the orientation over here on the right, whether you want it to be portrait, which means taller rather than longer, or landscape, which means longer rather than taller. And I gave you guys all starter files for the next 9 days that we're doing the actual challenges each day. You're gonna get a 5x7 starter file that's 300 DPI and already has a bleed marked out around the edge. So no matter what, you will just have a super easy file to open up and go to town on. And no matter what you do within those parameters, it'll be ready for print. All right, so this is what we see when we first open Photoshop on the desktop. You'll see immediately that you have a lot of options. Like I was telling Paco earlier, the workspace to me is I accept it however it is, and if I need something, I always go to the Window tab. The Window tab has everything that you need in terms of like access to your tools. So if you need layers, boom, layers are right there. If I need to make sure my colors are right and I can't find my color picker for some reason, boom, color right there. So really you can make your workspace whatever you want it to be, or you can use one of the preset workspaces up here. So Window really has a lot of what you need to set up your space, first of all. Second of all, let's look at the actual space that we have here. Right now we've got all the tools on the left side, so anything that you need to manipulate or create something new is on the left. And then all of the things to organize those contents are on the right. Most important to me is layers. So you'll see layers right up here. And if you click this little plus button at the bottom, it'll make new layers, new layers. Oh my gosh, all the layers. And these, of course, everybody says to name carefully and keep organized. Raise your hand if you don't do that. I'm very guilty. But more power to you if you do. Oh, deleting. See, it's so funny how on your own PC or whatever you're using, you get so used to like all the settings that you've done. I haven't had a pop-up menu in like 5 years. Because I always say, don't ask me ever again. Anyways, so these layers offer you the ability to put new things on top of others without touching. So if you want to delete one layer and not the other, boom, they're separate, they're beautiful, they're able to be deleted. So for an example of that, I'll just real quick, like, blop. Oh, look at that line, it's gorgeous. Now that's on layer 2, and then we've got, blop, another on layer 1. And to toggle these on and off, all you have to do is press the I next to it up here. And boom, on, off. And then we have so many options within there, some of which I will be going through every day of these challenges. There will be some kind of new aspect to Photoshop that I'm going to show you guys. And one of those things is blend modes. They live up here on the layers tab. So you can go through and kind of figure out what some of these do. Of course, I'll show you much more about this later, but I just want you to know where some of my favorite things live so that when we go back to them, you'll be like, ah, yes, old friend, lovely to see you. So I never use swatches, rarely use navigator, so let's do color because that is importante to me. See, look at that. Oh yeah. Now this is where you get into a lot of fun, is just playing around with color in here. If you haven't touched Photoshop before, I would highly recommend just playing. Just completely get comfortable with playing with all sorts of colors, all sorts of blend modes, and make sure you don't think of things like, oh, analyzing. Is this good? Is this what I need? Doesn't matter. Just play with it completely. Oh, Cheryl says, good morning from Virginia. Lovely to see you, Cheryl. Oh, yeah. And Tim, our lovely Tim Mobest. I don't know if that's how you say your name. I'm sorry if it's wrong. Oh, Sam says, hello, Chad. Hello, Chad. Hello, everyone. Haha. Oh, yeah. So, Sharon, we don't have a challenge that we're particularly doing today. It's that we're introducing the challenges for this week, which are winter themed postcards, postcard size, but you can make cards for anybody and print them on whatever kind of paper you want, and then send them to your loved ones and just let them know you're thinking of them in these wintry, cold times. Although I'm sure it's not always cold where you guys are. Another thing about the challenge is that we've formatted it so that you can do the challenge on desktop or iPad. So if you want to try out the Photoshop for the iPad, which we've heard a ton about since Adobe Max, right, everybody? Then we can switch to the iPad and have a clean, just from one to the other kind of transition. I'm actually going to show you guys how you can do that right now. So let's create one thing on here. Wow, that red line. Spot on, right? I'm such an artist. Ugh, can't help it. All right, so we're gonna do save as, and here's a new thing. So you can save to cloud documents or on your computer. I usually, honestly, like if I'm working actively on something, sorry, I'm distracted because Chad just said, Anna's a big Harry Potter fan, yes? I think so. Just a little bit. No, I love Harry Potter. Please sound off in the chat. What house do you belong to? British or American school? Whatever you like. You know, I just want to know all about that. Anyways, back to Photoshop. So you can save to cloud documents, which means if I save it here, I can open it up on my iPad. It'll save like that. And then we have another option to not show again. So you can kind of automatically do it to the cloud or your computer. But here, let's call this red line because it's deep. And if you save to your computer, obviously it'll be saved locally, which is wonderful. But if you have it as a cloud document, you're going to have a smooth time with opening it on other things, as well as no worries. If your computer, you know, if you slosh chai tea all over it, it won't get rid of that file. It'll still be in the cloud. Oh my gosh, Tim is a Griffin puff. Heck yeah. Claire is a Ravenclaw. Oh, and Claire loves Harry Potter. I'm right there with you. Kendall says we have 18 inches of snow the other day. Oh my gosh, how do you live? Did you stock up on stuff? I hope you're okay. I'm sure you guys know how to deal with it in Colorado. Like in Portland, there are literally 2 snowplows and they don't know where to go. So, you know, we're kind of in a kerfuffle if that happens. Oh man, you guys, proud Hufflepuff. Heather, I'm there with you. I'm Hufflepuff all the way. Although I've taken the test many times and I sometimes get Gryffindor, so technically a Griffin Puff. But I relate to Hufflepuff because to me they're kind of like hobbits. Like they live next to the kitchens and they have like round windows and plants everywhere. Oh, I love it. Itima says, I belong to the School of Mars, specifically in Utopia Basin. I have no idea what that means, but I love it. It sounds really cool. Chad said, Corgi sighting. Yeah, that's right. Corgis are amazing. I actually have some Corgis for you guys. That's what you're talking about, I'm sure, is the files that I have. There are some Corgis. There's some French Bulldogs. There's just dogs. And they're just example images, so you guys can put it in your pets. Also, I would love to know, do you guys have some cute pet names? Put them in the chat. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to flip over to Photoshop on the iPad because I want to show you guys what that looks like versus the desktop item. So we've got red line, and you'll see at the saved out version of that is called a PSDC, which is a special cloud document like thing. There's that corgi again. You guys have to name him. Bruno? I don't know. It'll take a second for it to click into the cloud documents, and it might be connected to internet stuff and all that. But I want to show you guys what it looks like to create a new file in here anyway. So we can, you can see my little raccoon lady. She's my most recent document. I wanted to, actually made her in Fresco, and then I wanted to adjust some of the colors, so I brought her into Photoshop, which is one of the most beautiful things I've ever done on the iPad. I'm just like, I can adjust colors in one way and then like paint in another. I just have all the programs that I want, and it's amazing. Anyways, so the same kind of options are on the left. We've got your work is in cloud documents, or they've got a deleted section in case you regret your life. You can bring it back. And so on the bottom, you'll see you can import and open, which is the same kind of idea as opening on the desktop. And then you've got this create new. And look at that, we've got our little templates again. So we've got all these options. I'm sure they know that I was recently working in 4x6 or 6x4. And you can change all of these parameters on the left side as well, very easily, same as the desktop version. But when we get in here, you can see the UI is way pared down compared to the overwhelming amount of information that you get from Photoshop in desktop form. But we've got a ton of the same tools going on. So along the left, we've got all the toolbar stuff. Along the right, we've got layers, which we have different modes of seeing the layers. So this looks much more like Photoshop on the desktop. But then we've got the layers this way. Oh yeah, we've got so many options here. I can't remember how to go back to the other one. But the other way, when it's got these little squares, you can see that right next to the layer panel. This is the way that Fresco also shows the layers. And so if you use Fresco and if you use Photoshop on the desktop, you'll be very comfortable in Photoshop for the iPad. So there we go, got it. You'll see if I click the top layer button, which is the little plus mark inside the square, same as the desktop version, it creates a new layer. Layer. Look at those. Now to delete these, you go into the menu option, delete layer. So there are a slight differences between the two things, but you really can figure it out. Again, 2 weeks, you'll be comfortable in any kind of work setup. And I'm going to be showing you this on and off throughout the week, where sometimes we'll flip over to the iPad, sometimes we'll be working on the desktop, but the idea behind all of these challenges is that I've built it so that you could do it in either. So there's nothing that you're missing in the iPad version, there's nothing that's like hard to find in the desktop version or whatever. Of course, the desktop version is a behemoth of a program, so it's got everything you could possibly need. And the iPad version is pared down, but it's still got so many of those key ingredients tools that especially I use as an illustrator. So you'll see a lot of things that, I do day to day. One of those most important things, by the way, clipping. This is something that is so key to so many people's workflow. And I actually worked at a video game studio for many years, and my office mate or whatever, she didn't know about clipping masks. And I was like, what? This is so important. You work as an artist professionally in the industry. Clipping masks basically lock whatever is on one layer to another layer's pixels. So if you're painting within one, it will not go outside the pixels of the other. I will show you all about that in challenge. I think almost most of them use clipping masks, so you'll see that very soon. And I really hope that you guys tune in completely to the challenges over the next 9 days, because I've got so much to talk to you about. We obviously have to go over more Harry Potter stuff. There are going to be dogs involved. There's just so much fun stuff to do. So I really hope that you guys tune in and find out about all of the in-depth tools. Now, I'm really lucky because the Daily Creative Challenge has existed for quite a while now, and we've got this backlog of wonderful information from so many different hosts. So I'm bringing you something unique and creative, so hopefully that you get some inspiration and feel like, oh, I really want to make this. But also, if you are questioning whether I'm not quite sure how this selection tool works, or I say something like, oh, all you have to do is create a mask, there is for sure a full stream describing exactly how to do that, and we'll answer any of your questions. And then, of course, if you have even more, the Discord is there for you. I'm going to be a mentor on Discord all this week and next, so if you guys have any questions specifically for me, or just in general you want to know more about the program, or you don't know why this one issue is happening in your file, I will be there to lickety-split give you a little answer. So if you guys want anything, then I want to know. Oh, Kendall says, I kind of want to sketch Fang and Fluffy now. I am into that. Now, throughout all of this, yes, I'm going to give you photos, like I said, but I'm also going to make my own illustrations part of it, because I don't want to lean out of what I create usually. So I'll give you oh, there's an option of a picture of a fox, but I'm going to use an illustration that I have of a fox. So it's totally up to you guys whether you want to use your own work or use a really cool photo that you found. Of course, Adobe Stock has everything you could ever imagine. So there's no wrong answer. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. I am so excited to actually dig into the challenges. Odie says hi. Hi and goodbye. I am going to wrap up now and say goodbye to you guys, but I'm so happy that you've joined us today, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Monique, if you want the Discord link, I believe that should be in the description below. Maybe we could pop it into the chat for her. Here's the Discord link. Boom. Thank you, Paco. Yeah. So this is the Discord link. Please tune in and talk to people. It's a wonderful thing to talk to everybody and kind of create that community together. So I will say goodbye to you guys now. I am so glad that you're here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.